Hello everyone, we're just about to get started here. We'll load into Timberborn. We're just about to get started here. We'll load into Timberborn. We're just about to get started here. We'll load into Timberborn. And we'll get started here in just a second. We'll just quickly go over our colony from last week. The 1.0 edition, of course, did release fully. We are still in the experimental branch, of course, just because that is where we started. So we'll finish the playthrough there. And we do have the most recent updates, however, staying in the word that I'm looking for is experimental branch. There we go. So last time we were just starting a 14-day drought, so that's why we ended where we did. With that in mind, looking at our water and our food stores, we should be perfectly fine here. We should be able to get through it without too much of a difficulty. And yeah, so I think we'll just kind of get started here, kind of go through our colony real quick and get started. I hope everybody is doing great. All right, so there we go. Zoom in a little bit. So down here was our little temporary industrial area. Down here we had a little bit of a forest that we used to sustain us while ours was getting planted. Coming up this way, we have our little housing block. We have our little inventor area here, some storage, our food, the little cook, our backup blueberry fields that we managed to keep safe from the bad tide that we had. And of course, this all died because of the bad tide last time. So one of the things we'll look at doing this time is try and get that taken care of so that that doesn't happen again. Probably by building a dam here and diverting the bad tide this way and this way. And then that way we have this nice big safe area that we don't need to worry too much about for a very long time. All right, so we'll go ahead, we'll hit play. There we go. And watch our beavers go. Away they go. Well, it's nighttime, so they're going to head to the campfire, their contemplation spot, take care of a couple things. So we'll unpause that. There we go. So we've got 3 jobs currently that don't have anyone. And that's right, we built a hauling post over here so that the other beavers don't have to move things quite so much manually. Those beavers will do it instead, allowing them to continue whatever their work may be, the other beavers. Great. So we have 2 foresters. There's this one over here that's taking care of this forest, and then the one up here that is starting to replant here. Looking at our wood and our science, it definitely looks like we could build our farmer monument nice and early, just like I was talking about the last time. So for anyone joining us, we are just starting a 14-day drought. We've just got through the first day here, and we're going to get that monument built pretty much right away. The reason why is this will really help with construction speed for the beavers. Not construction speed, but work speed in general, because they'll be happier. So we'll build it right there. Yes, it's going to take a lot of this wood store, and that's totally fine. For the 2 different official factions, so you have Folktales, which is who we're playing today, and then Irontail. Because the Iron Teeth, rather, the Folktales are more like farmers and like live in balance with the land. So that's why our first monument here is a happy little beaver with some wheat, and yeah, they're just a happy little guy. And we will get some bread going today probably as well. Just spin around so you can see it. Such a pretty game. Okay, great. So that everyone's off to work. And we don't have anything kind of burning at the moment where we absolutely need to take care of it, which is always lovely. We are just getting the last bits of wood here, and most of it will end up going towards here, like we just talked about. It'll drain our stores. However, we will be left with enough to do a little bit with if we need to or decide to. We're going to go ahead, pause this forester just to kind of rearrange where the different beavers are working. Most of these jobs, by the way, that are open are over here at the hauling post. So it's not critical, but it definitely does help. All right, let's take a look around. So we're on drought, of course. And how are we doing so far? We're doing totally fine, but we will lower this just a bit just because I do want to keep this kind of high. There we go. And that'll be one of the other things we do shortly here is changing this dam over to floodgates or valves so we can hit the 100% mark of keeping this full. Well, 95 really, but yeah. So our little beavers are doing their thing, running around, our food's doing well. We'll speed up a little bit more, and of course we are on hard mode, so we do get these much longer droughts than standard. On normal, they typically max out at 5 or 7 after several cycles, like somewhere around 10 to 20 cycles. And we're already at 14 days on our 6th. So that's pretty quick, which is why we're building up all this water very quickly, which is likely what we'll do with any wood we have after we're done the farmer monument and that dam up here that I was talking about. But really, it'll likely be, well, not likely, I know it's going to be a triple floodgate here. So we'll just unlock it and we'll start thinking about how we're going to get them to take care of that. And I think what we'll do is quite straightforward. We've got this little path through the water. So we'll extend it, pull it up, and there we go. Oh, autosave, there we go. And then I usually like to do my dam just inside the mouth there. Oops, there we go. So we'll bring it up to there, should do it. And we'll go ahead, place 3 floodgates down, 4 floodgates down, my bad. Come back down here, take a look around, see how they're doing. See, Farmer Monument is done already. Great thing to do during the drought. Gets that up a little bit more for their well-being, which means they'll be able to work a bit faster. And away we go. Yeah, so we can see our beavers are already going to it over here, which is great. There we go, new well-being. See, it's coming up still. As more beavers come back over the next day or two, their well-being will come up a little bit more likely even than that. And we should be fine on water. It's something like 3 water per beaver, and we're at like, sorry, 2.3, 2 point something water per beaver. So I always just say it's 3 water per beaver. We're at 18, so let's just round up to like 90 a day-ish. Ooh, well actually, yeah, rounding up's gonna hurt us, but would leave us without water, but we'll be okay. Just based on some experience of mine here, I think we'll be fine. We'll pull this floodgate down a little bit again, just let a little more water into there. That's probably about right. And then we'll just do the same thing over here as well. Just equal these 2 out. Great. Try and hold on to as much water as we can so that it doesn't flow off the map during this massive drought. And there we go. Beavers going away, doing their harvesting. We are coming low on food, which is totally fine. We'll unpause the grill over here, and they will get cooking again and fill up our stores. There we go. Yeah, you can still see the leftovers of that last bad tide holding on right here. Have some tea, excuse me. Oh, Bio, that's a fun little emoticon, a stinky glitch. Okay. All right, let's take a look around here. Our dam's coming along up here, which is great. And of course, this will likely be the start of our first mega dam as well, which is great to know. For up here, our water comes from over here and over here, if you don't know Timberborn too well. Usually what I'll do is, once this is blocked off for the bad water, I will set it up so that I can flow bad water that way, get rid of it. And then I will also dam across here. And the reason for that is to keep bad water from coming that way, this way. And then I will go up here and build a dam across here that just flows the bad water off the map. That might be what we do, but I've got some other ideas for this time. If anybody who's watching plays a lot of Timberborn and has like a totally different way that they want to talk about how they get rid of bad water, totally open to it. If not, lurkers are always welcome as well, so please enjoy. Great, so we can see over here that our forester is almost done, so we'll unpause one of those, and we have run out of our wood over here. Totally fine and expected. We'll pause those 3 workplaces. They'll go back to the pool of workers, and like I said, we'd have just a little bit left over. And our dam's probably stopped because we're out of planks. Yes, exactly. So what we'll do is we'll also get this one going. We do have our windmill for power, so even though the water wheel isn't turning, we still got our power. All right, bring down our floodgate. A little bit more. A little bit more. Even a bit more. There we go. We will eventually automate all of this with the new automation tools and valves and whatnot. But we do require metal for that first, and we're not quite there yet. And I don't mind doing these couple of manual things here and there. Kind of keeps it a little more interesting. And you get to see the effects a little better, which never hurts to see how in the simulation different changes affect different parts of it. Okay, so let's take a look. We'll come back over here. Great, we have at least 1 beaver over here. Why do we have 2 that are cutting down trees? Oh no, it's digging. That's what this one's doing. It's planting. There we go. Yeah. Mezzalcree was planting some trees. Great, so we'll also get them working on this section over here, get that all cleared out. And I think we will pause that. Yeah, we'll keep that forester unpaused so that as these trees get cut, they get immediately replaced. For anyone joining us, we are halfway through a 7-day drought and we have a decent amount of water left. I don't even think we've gone through half yet, which is great. And anyone new to Timberborn, you can see forests, if you haven't cut them completely, they do start to replace themselves. You can see right here, there's a couple of new little trees. I didn't plant these 2 on this side, on either side of this oak. They just plant themselves, and these are leftovers from it. If we left this long enough, this whole forest would come back and spread. And of course, for anyone who doesn't know or doesn't know Timberborn very well or is new to the stream, these trees are ones that were contaminated and died. So they don't replant, they don't reseed, they're kind of just there and dead for now. And we're just building that dam up here so that we have a little bit better safety from the bad tides. So we're 5.5 days. We're almost out of water above our... There we go, great. So that'll refill our reservoir just a bit. And then we'll let just a little bit of it go down into our main area that we need to keep irrigated for our food. My goodness, we are quite low on water already for what's on the map. Great. Pull this up. My goodness. That shouldn't overflow. Great. No overflow. Wonderful. So we'll speed up a bit. Let it go. And all the cute little beavers, our little beaver monument, our happy beavers. We'll probably try and push that up even a little bit more here. And the way we'll do that is start planting some chestnut trees right about here. They take some time to grow, and I think we're in a safe enough spot where we can think about getting rid of these blueberries. But we'll wait for this dam to finish being built at the head of this lake. Again, there are definitely things you can do in this game that are risky. And it's not a huge payoff to do them, and frankly, I prefer making sure my beavers are okay. Okay, let's take a look around. Where are we at for food? We're very high, so we could just go ahead, pause our cook again. Oh, we have a little sick beaver. Poor little thing. Over in our little medical tent with a little bandage on its head. Oh, so cute. Resting away. Little hearts around the little lanterns around the medical tent. Aww. And then if we just play with the camera for a moment here. There we go. Our little nature contemplation spot so that our beavers can contemplate nature. Very cute. Very lovely. Okay, so let's take a look. How are we doing on our water? We're doing okay. Definitely want to bring this up. Well, bring that down, bring our water level up. There we go. Just let that flow out a little bit. And that should be sufficient for now. We have more planks coming. 2 of our 4 are done. Third one's about halfway. Great. So what we'll do is... trying to decide whether we're going to pause one of our inventors. Yeah, I think so. Because I do want at least one hauler right now. And as soon as I pause it, they should get hauling. Yeah, perfect. Great. No more unstaffed workplace. If you're just joining us, we're coming to the later half of our 14-day drought on our 6th cycle. So pretty quick on how bad these are getting. We only get 6 days at the moment between cycles. And yeah, they're very quick. Good ones, and most of the time our droughts or bad tides have actually been longer than our temperate season has. So our little colony is starting to thrive though. We have a nice backup of water, some decent food stores. Our first monument's already built. Just kind of waiting for the beavers to do their thing. Great, our well-being's still coming up higher. Great to see. Let's check out, do we want to do that? Probably not. Probably we will get some more decorations, because that is what I would like to kind of see come up. We could do a rooftop terrace. It wouldn't be too hard to extend one. Shrub, not everybody's seeing. Same with the lantern. And of course, the farmer monument's doing a ton of work for us. Okay, so maybe we'll just expand some shrubs and some lanterns so that more of the beavers get to see those nice little decorations and feel better. I'm thinking we'll put one for now at least, right here, and probably right here. Yeah, we have plenty of wood. And then we'll do a lantern right here and here for now. Let's rotate that around. And again, whoops, there we go. And again, this is just to increase their well-being, to increase their work speed. Do love these cute little beavers and taking care of them. Okay, so doing well there. Nice buffer of science. And I think what's next is storage. We're gonna grab another medium warehouse, and this is just a backup of berries. So, my goodness, I'm so sorry. I was playing Stationeers this morning, and C is how you rotate in that. And I keep defaulting to it now because I've been playing it this morning. But back to Timberborn here. And I think we will put this storehouse right here. So we're going to just delete part of that path. And then we'll put it here for now. A lot of the stuff that I do when we have this little science is very temporary, especially when our resources are low. Just simply because it's best to have a solution of some kind than no solution, even if it's not the most ideal one. And what we'll do is we'll set this to supply. So if beavers eat berries from this one, our haulers will automatically fill it back up, and our workers will not worry about pulling berries all the way to the far one here. Because I do want to harvest this, and then we'll replace it with the chestnut trees like I was talking about. Okay, great. Speed along here. Add just a bit more water. Give it a moment. That's probably good for the moment. Have some tea myself. And we'll speed back up. I really don't like playing with water levels with it on like the acceleration. It just it doesn't go well most of the time, to be honest. You lose a bunch of extra water usually because it just kind of like quickly goes through and doesn't simulate quite right, which is normal because it's doing less checks of all the simulation math that's required to get to the end here. Great, so we have a full source of trees over here, which I'm really happy to see. And with that in mind, we'll give over there a bit of a break, pause both of these two lumberjacks, and we'll even pause the forester for now, because this is all going to basically pause growing while the drought's happening. but oaks are good for 16 days with no water, and birch are good for 11.4, so probably 12. So we'll come down here, and we will put a couple lumberjack flags. Oops, I keep doing that. R. R is the button that I need today. And at this moment, actually, we'll get rid of this one. Don't need that one. Path it out. Great. And we'll set up the cut area. And they will get to work. The other thing we'll think about is where are we going to put the dandelions, because they are ready to be picked as well. And I think what we're going to do for the time being is we're just going to put another medium warehouse right there. And that one will be for our dandelions. And I really do like the shape we're in. That was 14 days drought, only on cycle 6 after having a bad tide, and really only 3 days with good water. So we're in a good spot at the moment. We may try to add one more beaver hut, just because I would like a couple more beavers. But I think this is our safe spot at the moment. Nice, small, compact colony, but I'm hoping we can get some real explosive growth on it today. But we'll see. It really depends on how many bad tides versus droughts we get. Bad tides are almost worse to deal with than droughts, simply because you have to clear that bad tide off the map afterwards, right? So we'll pull this down, let a little more water in, and of course, I can't wait to automate that, but for now, I do enjoy it. There we go, throw that back up. Great. So what's our lumber doing? 156, that's pretty good. 6 planks and 5 gears. That all looks fine. Food numbers are good. Well-being is good. All right, let's do some more speeding along here. Yeah, so we've only got two beavers working at the district center for building right now, which is totally good and fine. Sleepy beavers, off they go to work. All right. Yeah, I think we will actually increase our number of builders, just because that's a really long way for them to go. So the other things are taking more time than I would like, so we'll just increase the priority of getting one of those lumberjack flags done. There we go. Great, now that that's built, one beaver will automatically start chewing down all these trees. And I think we will unpause the forester, and we'll just pause one of these inventing huts so that we still have at least that one hauler to move wood around and move water and other things. Alrighty. More tea for me. And of course we do have our poor beavers that die and get born. This one, unfortunately, who just died of old age, was one that we named after one of the followers that started following the first stream where we started playing Timberborn. Great, so we just hit our max storage space for potatoes, and we don't have a lot of space for the grilled, and I'm actually pretty happy about that. So what we're gonna do is we'll pause that other lumberjack flag because we're at 6, which means we don't have any haulers, and probably, yeah, we're missing a worker somewhere else too. So what that means to me then is it is definitely time to get another house, especially considering how well we went through that drought. So we'll get 4 more beavers coming. And we'll put that actually as a high priority because I do want them sooner than later. Great. Our dam up here is done. So happy to see that. We have 0.4 of a day left. We have a little left in our reservoir. You can see the height difference there as it comes in. Very happy with how that went, considering that was a 14-day drought so early on. Great. Okay. So, of course, the other thing we're going to do, now that that workday is over, we'll unpause those pumps. We'll pause the other inventors. And we may even pause the farmers. No, we will pause this forester, though. Just because I want to make sure that we have enough workers to cover our pumps and hauling right now. Great. So no. Going back and forth about pausing that district center, but we'll just bring it down to 2 beavers building because there's only that one new lodge to build and then maybe a couple of decorations, but it looks like all the decorations are done. So we should be okay. And of course, my worry here is, of course, we're okay right now. My worry is about the next drought. And what we'll do is destroy these so they don't get filled, destroy that little path, and then we want to demolish this one blueberry bush. And it's so that we can build a second medium tank right beside there. And we're going to put that as a high priority, actually. A very high priority. And then that can be a medium priority. There we go. Speed up again. Great. The other thing we're going to do is go ahead and set up our storage for that medium water tank right there. Water. And it's got a high priority. We do not have the gears for it at the moment, or the planks, which is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world either. Great, those are all paused. We have plenty of food. And we have 2 builders. What we might do, just to try and balance things a little bit better here, is we're gonna pause, change the number of workers on the farmhouse for a moment. Just because it is so important to refill all of that water and get that new tank built. And once we have flowing proper power again, because as you can see, like our water is spreading, coming back here after that drought. Once it's back fully and flowing, then we'll get the gear workshop going as well. Great. Unpause that. And we'll need another, actually before we do that gear one, we'll do a second plank one. That way we can try and get all the planks for this done, and then we'll have a little bit of a buffer for the gears, because gears are built from the planks, of course. All right, cycle 7, here we go. After a 14-day drought. Just let that go down. No reason to have it blocked right now. Great. Water is flowing. Lots of it. And then once we get that other water storage built, we'll get a proper levee across here. Not levee, proper dam. not dam. My goodness, I keep saying the wrong ones. Floodgate. We'll get a proper floodgate built across here. All right, great. Things are flowing. 3 workers. Is everything built? Other than, of course, that. How are we doing for water? We're doing really well. So we'll pause 1, 2 of those pumps, and we will resume work with both of those other 2 workshops, gear and the 3rd plank shop. And we'll kind of just speed up and really try and get enough materials out to build that 2nd tank and to have a stockpile so we can build that new set of floodgates down here. Great. And that was day 2 of the new cycle. And we'll likely get told what our next problem is on the next day here in a moment. Yeah, so a bad tide in 3 days. Even happier about how I decided to set things up further upriver here to protect all of this. Yeah, 2.8 days till the bad tide. And we are coming along there. So what we're gonna do is build another gear shop because I am worried about getting enough done before we hit the next bad tide. So we'll just set that gear shop up there. Get that built. And we're still doing great with our cooked food here. Soon we'll have to assign someone to go do that, but that's okay. And you can see the new lodge has been moved into... Or no, it hasn't yet. We haven't even had babies yet. We have only 15 occupied beds and 6 spaces to get filled. My goodness, maybe we'll try bringing our well-being up to have those beavers want to have more baby kits. Baby beavers, of course, being called kits. Very cute little things. There we go. Come on. You can do it. Yeah, we're a little low on our logs at the moment, so we're just going to pause one of these gear shops. Not gear shops, one of these plank shops. And we really need to let that forester get working again. So we'll let that forester do their thing. Up here is growing up nicely. Great. Okay. Just gonna have some more tea. Oh, such a relaxing game. Nice music, pretty visuals. Like, I know I've done this a couple times, but such nice, lovely work done on these textures and the models. Like, just so lovely. Lots of good tricks done with textures so that there's less polygons. They did such a good job with it. Very impressed. Oh, look at the little beaver waddle with his gears. Waddle, little dude, waddle. Waddle away, little one. Yeah, run. Oh, so cute. Little baby. Oh my gosh. It's playing patty cake with itself. That little baby that just turned into an adult. Oh, I wonder if that's what they do when they... Oh no, that's till adulthood. My gosh, that was so cute. It played patty cake. Oh, see, look at it go, look at it go. Oh, so cute, my goodness. Oh. Okay. Enough of a distraction of watching the little baby beaver. Good, so our water is done. So we'll just pause this gear workshop, pause that extra plank one, get our pumps going again. We've got our forester doing their job. And now we only have 3 extra jobs, which is great, which means it's the 3 hauler jobs are still open. And we'll come over here, and I think what we'll do is we'll resume this job, this gatherer here. What they'll do is, we're supplying, right? Yeah, we're supplying, good. So what they'll do is clear out all these blueberries, these dandelions, and then we'll get the chestnuts planted here afterwards. We're at 1.4 day. So we will not likely be able to get this done before that, which is fine. I wasn't really expecting to. And if I just accept that we won't be able to get it done, I can just build... Do I want to do a double floodgate here? I usually do a double all the way along just to reinforce the bank and channel the water, because I'll have most of the water coming through here eventually. Yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and do a single for now, just in the interest of material savings at the moment. And I think we will see if we can't race this bad tide and get it done before it. So we have 6 jobs. Planks need to still be made. Foresting still needs to happen. So we will go like this. Delay our chestnuts getting planted. Chestnut trees. Up here we just kind of left it to do its thing and grow this temperate season. Coming back down, and we may even pause the farmers, but I'm not sure that's something I want to do. You know what? We have so much potato. Let's go ahead, reset that to 3, pause the farmhouse. We'll resume the cookhouse. And that should leave just the haulers, not full. And we'll just cook a little bit of... No, there's no point. We'll just pause the cook. And when we hit the next drought, that's when we will... Or the bad tide here, that's when we'll resume the cook and we'll resume farming. Because this will just sit here ready to be harvested anyway, and if we can get this fully built before the bad tide hits, I would be very happy about that, because we'll be in a much better position for the bad tide if we have extra landscape water here. Okay, so we'll just hit play. Yeah, we ran out of wood there, which isn't really a surprise, so we will go ahead and resume those for that oh my goodness, for that birch that's up there. Pause them, basically switch them to over there. We'll pause that one and resume that one so that we grab these pine, which are worth a little bit more than birch. I really am hoping that we can get this done. We're really close. And we're gonna pause this lumber mill so that we have more logs to try and get that done. And I think we will resume that one as well. And we will definitely have enough water to get through this one. And we're just gonna extend this shift right till the bad tide hits. So we will stop that water flow there, stop it here, stop this water flow, stop this one, and that'll just give us a bit of a buffer, because it means we're going to get water the good water will continue to flow in for a little bit before we're actually forced to start having bad water in our area. The more of that we can do, the better. So you can see like we're overflowing this bank right here just a little bit. Touch and go, which is totally fine. And you can see since we cut the water off, this has totally stopped flowing already, which again, totally fine. And what I'm hoping to be able to do is all this water we're building up and flowing this way a little bit, it will help us deal with this bad tide better. And we will stop our pumps, even though we're not really full on our water, but we have more water than we did during the 14-day drought. So everybody get to work and do your thing. We will let this come down a little bit, bring it all the way back up. That's just to fix the water that was used by the pumps. We'll bring this all the way down for like 10 seconds, not even, I say 10 seconds and really I mean a second and a half, just to try and top this back up after doing that, because I expect we'll overflow here sooner than later, and we'll just put it at 0.8. We're not actually as close as I would have thought. That's fine. So we'll bring this down to like 0.7, and that'll get us flowing some good water in. Yeah, perfect. Just to really top this off, the only reason we're doing this 24-hour is so that we can try and fill this channel completely and not worry about losing it over the top there of the dam. That's why I do like floodgates better than dams, to be honest. And we're almost there with it, so that'll be enough for now. And see, we have good water flowing into us over here, so I'm hoping that most of the bad water will want to go this way, or as we can see, it's starting to overflow in a couple spots right here, which is totally fine for the time being. I would prefer the good water coming towards us. So we'll play a dangerous game for a moment and just ever so lightly let the good water flow to us instead of flowing down this way. And that'll just give us a bit of a better buffer even. And we are so close. 2 more logs, come on beavers, and then I'm gonna give you a very short shift. Poor little beavers are just working their poor little tails off, just to try and get this last little bit of this dam built. Oh, come on. Almost there. And there we go. Great. So we will shorten this shift all the way down to like 10 hours. And that way it'll kind of make up the fact that they couldn't take care of themselves the day before, well, the night before. And we'll just fill this back up. And we still don't have any bad water coming into our area, which is great. Here it comes right here for the first time. First time for this particular cycle. There we go. So just a little bit made it through, but it's not enough that it'll actually poison anything. And now let's look over here real quick, see how we're filling up. We're doing well. Just trying to go back and forth, checking different things. Seeing how the bad tide is going this way. Great. What we'll do is just bring this down ever so slightly more. Oop. Pause it real quick. Bring that one up. Yeah, see, I just flooded our bank just a little bit, which means we'll lose a little bit of water from me doing that. But that's not the end of the world. And do we have extra beavers? Not really, but we definitely need to get our farmers going again. We had paused them for a moment just to try and cover a couple of different things off. So now that we have, we'll pause that and we will resume our forester up here to replace this birch. Down here, our foresters and whatnot don't need to be doing anything. We should be able to pause our town center. We're not building anything currently, which means we have some workers to do some gathering, grab these blueberries for where our chestnut grove will go. And that was close. You can see it's just started to poison the top part here, so we'll pull that floodgate all the way up. This is why automation is going to be very nice later, once we're a little further into this playthrough. There we go. Have some more tea myself. Such a cute little game. Love it. I say little, but it's really quite a big game, and lots of different stuff they do in it. Perfect. So bad tide, as we can see, is going around us. It's not overflowing over there, which is something I was a little worried about, was if there would be enough water coming onto the map to make it over the top here. And it is definitely something we will think about trying to fix totally, is we'll block this off with valves and whatnot to only allow good water in and keep the bad tide water from ever coming that way. Yeah, you can see it's just overflowing the bank on this edge every once in a while. Yeah, see, we've just got a little bit coming in now. Here and there, sometimes it's overflowing that edge, which is not something I like. And if we were further into the playthrough and we had elixir to cure sick beavers, I would deal with this immediately. But this is not enough bad tide coming in for me to risk any of our little beavers trying to fix it. And we have plenty of water, so if we absolutely need to, we can always divert it down into here, and that'll help keep it away from the more important parts of our colony. How much wood do we have? We do have enough that what I'm thinking we may actually do anyway is put 4 floodgates here. 2 here, 2 here. And we'll just, if this gets a lot worse, we can flow it this way and get rid of these blockages. I usually prefer to do it with levees, which were taken out for 1.0 and replaced with the valves. But that should be fine. Okay, we'll keep a close eye on it, and in the meantime we'll get our cook working away. Well, it'll be tomorrow, because they got most of this day off because of how hard I pushed them the day before. Bring their well-being back up to 15, which is great. Whew, 8-day bad tide. So this will basically end up being 12 to 13 days, I feel, just to try and clear the map of all the bad water. Okay. Here we go, hit the next day, and we'll extend our shift back to the 16 hours. Picking away on this little blueberry patch here. Great, we have some trees coming back. We can go ahead and pause this. No, you know what? We are going to start doing this properly. And what that means is having a forester working and having a lumberjack. Once we get the oaks fully grown, we'll start having some of the we'll be able to have more than one lumberjack flag over here that's active for this area. But when the forest is this young, it takes a little longer. And I think what we'll do is just pause this lumberjack down here so that this can try and come back. And eventually what we'll do as well is probably this one. We will divert the water from here this way, the bad water. And we may do it sooner than later. I'm not 100% sure yet. Depends how this goes, droughts versus bad tides, all those good things. Now, as you can see, dandelions are very much like the blueberries. They don't have to be replanted after they get harvested. And we've got such a small patch right now just because we don't actually need them yet. But I do want to stock so that when we do need them, there's no sudden like, oh no! But yeah. So we are 2 days into our 8-day bad tide. Again, we only had a 6-day good temperate water. Yeah, you can see this is starting to poison a little bit. And we do have plenty, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's what we'll do, is we will unpause that, pause that, and we're going to pause this forester, that lumberjack, this lumberjack, that forester. And the reason why is simply because I really want to get this blocked off right now as quickly as possible to try and limit the bad water that's coming in from getting any worse. There we go. Make sure, yep, good. There's 4 little beavers working there. And this is going to be very close as to whether any of those beavers get sick from being in bad water or not. Yeah, we're early enough that most of it, if not all of it, should get done. There we go. Get that floodgate up. Yeah, you can see they're just in that bad water, just barely. Come on, little beavers. Okay, so I think what we'll do just to be kind of safe here is we're going to delete that path. The reason why we're going to delete that path is I really don't want them going back into the water to access that building site. And it'll force them to stay out of the water and finish building this levee from outside of the water. There we go. And now this water has some time to turn into, like, what's the word that I'm looking for? To mix with the good water, and so it won't have a high enough concentration to be poisonous. Oof. So much poison. We'll have to build some blocks later so that it can't come this far. But we're doing okay. Great. We're done over here. So happy to see that. So we'll pause them. And we are going to get rid of most of these blueberry bushes right here. Right here. We're going to get rid of these blueberries so that we can replace it with a chestnut grove instead. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Because once this is gone, we will build a couple of... Do we want to do the suspension or do we want to do that? Yeah, we'll do the little suspension bridge. No. Yes. Yeah, we'll do the little suspension bridge. So we may lose some or all of these oak just right along this bank, but that is better than losing all of this grove. So we can see it's just slowly filling up, which, you know, it's not ideal, but like, it is definitely better than losing our main reservoir. And you can see this is doing much better, looking like it's holding its water now that we have this as floodgates instead of having it just these dams. And we'll just drop those floodgates once the drought's over, of course. Not drought, wrong word, sorry. Bad tide. Once the bad tide is over. Tea. Love it. Great. So, we will use a suspension bridge. Whoops. Right here. Delete that path. And where is it? There we go. So suspension bridges cost less than doing it all with these platforms. These platforms, which are great for setting up verticality later on, are more expensive to use for distances like this, where we really don't need the beavers to end up building anything on top. That's the big difference between the platforms and the suspension bridges. Bridges are a little cheaper to span a distance, but they can't support a building on top, where the opposite is true of the platforms. Platform, suspension bridge, overhangs, and then the big metal platforms for later on when we get like really into verticality. And you can start building on top like this and have whole layers. A lot of fun. But we are not there yet. We do not have the resources to be able to function that way yet. Great. Our food has been recooked, so we'll pause our cook again. Our beavers are starting to grow up from that new lodge, and there is a good chance we'll add another lodge either the next cycle or the one after that for sure. You can see some of our oak are maturing over here now, and the second crop of birch as well. So I've just resumed these lumberjacks. You can see we have a couple of extra beavers at the moment, which is great, so we can start doing some research again. We've still got some building going on. Yeah, this can stay like that for now. This is disconnected at the moment, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're just joining us, we are on cycle 7, day 11 of it. Our cycles, we haven't had more than 6 days of temperate yet, which is totally fine. It's actually a lot of fun. Makes it a lot more difficult. Okay, yeah, we don't need this berry gatherer right now for sure, if ever. But what we do need to do is think about how we're going to drain this channel of the bad water that's here currently. So we'll just go like that and start thinking about it. And I think what we'll do is, because it's very narrow, is we're just going to do we probably can get away with 2 levees and a floodgate. And that will likely be sufficient for the time being, at least. Great. And then that starts setting us up to come over here and properly divert the water in the future. And if we just set our path up on top of the levee there so that that floodgate can be accessed. It's going to take some time to build it, but we're also not in a rush. So that is totally fine. And everything is progressing well. And I would really like to have one more, my goodness, my words at the moment, lodge. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do, is we have plenty of water, we're 2.5 days out. I'm feeling good about where we're at with water. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna expand now, we're gonna add one more lodge. Oops, sorry everybody for the quick rotation there. There we go. That's C key, if anybody is wondering. Oh, look at the little baby kid. It's so cute. Oh my god. They were playing patty cake earlier. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. And they use like all the recreational buildings as they grow up. Ah, I love it. Love it. We're gonna put the lodge as a higher priority. That way we can try and expand a little quicker as we go. And there we go. Yeah, that bad tide, a little ickier than I would have liked, but quite well. Especially considering how short our temperates are. My gosh, I really can't stress on that enough. In the normal mode, temperates are like 10, 12, 15 days sometimes. But in hard, you barely ever get over 6. I can't remember ever having a temperate over 6, and I've had a couple less than 6, I'm pretty sure as well. But I'm not 100% confident in it either. There we go. Have some tea myself. And it looks like there's still enough good water mixed in with this bad tide to keep most of it from going poisoned. But we are definitely going to lose a few oak along here. But that's better than losing the whole grove. That's for sure. Great. And this has been built fully, which means our lodge is likely done. Great. Lots of different things getting finished up. So we have nothing that's being built right now, so we'll go ahead and pause the district center. And we'll start getting some more gears and planks ready to go for that next medium water. And where we're going to put that one is right here. The reason why we're kind of moving where our water is now that we have the haulers, they help us get the water from A to B, right? With these little toggles over here. That way, these two and these little ones will never request water from this one, but this one's always requesting water to get filled. And there's less distance for the beavers to go from their homes to get their water and food. Eventually we'll bring it all a bit closer, but again, this was primarily done because of its proximity to the cookhouse pre-haulers. But now that we have them, we can start thinking about, okay, so let's put our grilled potatoes here primarily. That way, again, less distance to go, and it's all close to their houses and to where they need to do their recreational activities. And that way, they have more time to bring their well-being higher. Speaking of, we will just check that real quick. Let's see. So contemplation spot is almost good for all of our beavers. We'll leave it for now. Wet fur is it's not a big enough positive to worry about getting it all the way up. And the beavers who are wet, they're wet because they're getting in the water to get to and from work right now. But we'll set up some showers, or we can do something really fun and interesting later and set up a waterfall along the main path and get them to ensure they're getting their fur wet that way. And of course, that farmer monument is a +3. And we can start looking into some of these other ways to bring up their well-being. Like the roof we may do soon. Rooftop terrace is definitely one that, based on where we're at science-wise, we'll think about. It's basically, at this point, are we going to do that, or are we going to drive for the big pump? And I think we should drive and try and get to that big pump, which requires quite a bit of science to get to, because we need to unlock the tapper shack, the woodwork shop, and the big pump, all to get our large water pump. So it's like 2,500–3,000 science to get it. And we just don't have the beavers to do it right now. So I think we're going to do the well-being first, especially because it only needs 2 things to really get it up and running. Oh, no, that's not going to work. We're going to have to destroy that. What we're going to do is take this rooftop terrace, we will rotate it, and actually, I think our best spot is going to be right. Here, likely. It's going to be one of these 2 spots, probably. Or even like that. I'm just playing around with how we want to set up our next layer, like I was talking about, and actually right here will be good. The reason we're going to do that right there is make sure that this isn't paused. It is. I have our district center paused, so of course nothing's getting built, but that's okay because other things need to happen first. Let's see, we're at 7. Yeah, let's unpause this one. And that's okay, it gives us some time to do some laying out. So basically what we're going to do is, where's our housing? Let's just speed this up a little bit. We're almost off the bad tide here. Oh, also, the other thing I need to do before I forget is set that for demolition. No, cancel. We'll set this one for demolition. We just need to be careful about how we walk this back so that we don't trap any beavers over here. Just better than having to worry. So with that in mind, we'll unpause that. We'll pause. We'll resume the district. We'll pause the inventor. Pause these 2, both the medium tank, the new medium tank, and the rooftop. All right, so coming back to here. Just need to get that demolished so that we can clean this water out. So what we'll do is we will put a staircase right here. Yes, great, because yeah, we're just gonna lay this out completely. Where's the housing button? There we go. Okay. If you're just joining us, we are setting up our next layer here. So I'm just pausing a couple of different buildings so that the ones that we really need to get taken care of first get done. But yes, we'll unlock that. We will pause it for now. And eventually what we'll do is we'll run platforms all the way around the edge, or we'll run platform with some suspension bridges, just depending on what we need to do for staircases and a couple of other buildings as well. But for the moment, we're gonna do platforms across like this, right here. And another one will go there for now. And we're gonna pause all of this. And the reason why is just because, like I was saying, we do have a couple of more important construction projects, like demolishing this so that we can clean our bad water out. And see, bringing this all the way up to the 100%, like the 90% before we lost all of our good water flow, has let us keep way more in here than previous bad events. All right, and we'll come into good water again here in a second. Oh, excuse me, goodness, I needed some tea. And it'll be the exact opposite. Now all the good water needs to replace the bad water, and hopefully there'll be enough time to do it before we have our next drought or next bad water tide. Bad tide ended. Cycle 8 begins. And the green comes back. I love it. Beaver's working over here on demolishing this blockage. So we'll just keep everything dammed for a moment, because we are not in a place of desperation for good water, which is nice, because then we can just let nature take its course for a minute and clean itself up. Great, first one is done. Next one to demolish. And once we demolish all of these, then we'll get working on all of this over here. And where are we at for gears and planks? We're getting there. Yeah, we have no wind, so we can't make more at the moment, which is fine. This, I had meant to close that so that backflow didn't happen, but it is what it is. There we go. A little bit lower. A little lower. Pause, demolish the next one. Great. And that should just allow it to start draining that channel a little bit. And we've got good water coming in now. And I think what we'll do over here is probably wait another moment or two. Maybe a half day, full half day. I just want this blue to come a little bit more into the poison area. And we'll probably open this floodgate, let it mix, and drain the mixed poison this way. But we'll see. We'll see. There we go. That's almost done. Great. So, with that in mind, we will resume work on the water tank. And we really do need to get our pumps going, actually. That is the number one thing that I currently don't have happening, is replacing and replenishing our water from that bad tide. Yeah, so we have no haulers, so we will bring that down so that we have at least two. I'd rather have buildings get constructed a little slower and haulers moving our water around correctly, opposed to the opposite. It's so much more important to ensure that water, food, and resources are flowing from one area to another in Timberborn. Great, so beginning of day 2. Wonderful. We'll just give it a little bit more time. Again, we have plenty of water right now, so I'm not overly worried about it. And over here, we will let this come down all the way, and we'll let that come down all the way. And that should drain the bad water from this little channel here. Great. It won't do it quickly because I don't exactly have a large space for it to do it, and it's not like it's a big change in height either. And it may even have to wait until we open this floodgate, which we're going to do now. That one's open. This one can get opened. We're probably going to flood our banks just a little bit, and that is totally okay. Away we go. And we'll just bring that up to a 1.5. Let this kind of settle in for a moment. Yeah, see, that's not too bad on the poison. So we will just open this a bit, close that a little bit, just kind of lessen how much poison's going to come into our main growth area. Great. There we go. Playing with the water sim is always fun. Then we'll bang that back open. Open that one. This is still flowing, so that's good. This has started to switch. And this, I believe I already set to 0. Yes, great. So if you're just joining us, we just got through 8-day bad tide. And we're just cleaning off the bad tide water through a couple of spots where it started to kind of get a little too close to our colony. But we have a couple diversion techniques we're using. Mainly the fact that we had a really good amount of reservoir left, which means we can just kind of cut the amount of poison that was sitting in different areas. And you can kind of see it here as it's flooding the bank a little bit. That there was a good little bit of poison in there, but I think it's low enough. No one should get sick. And we do have a couple flooded buildings, so we're just gonna stop that for a moment. And it's going to build back up there. We'll bring this down just a little bit. There we go. And our flooding should be dealt with. Bring that down just a bit more. Bring this down just a bit to like 1.8-ish. A lot of manual, just like touch, go. Once you start getting intricate systems like this with the flow, the way the water flows, it's super interesting. Super well done. There we go. And we'll start normalizing here shortly. Bring this back down a little more. Trying to avoid another big flood because I'd rather have them work during the day, especially on those pumps. But if we flood a little bit, it's not the end of the world. Like, this is fine. And you can see it's almost like it's just surging over the bank a little bit. Just ever so slightly. Great. That means we're almost back to a normal level for that. I'd love for that to come back down to 0 sooner than later. Bring it down to like a 1.3. Mainly because I want our water wheel spinning again here. Yeah, you can see just over here, the water level's really starting to come down now that I've opened up this again. It just takes some time for that water, just like real life, for it to actually flow and find the new pathway and start traveling it. Beavers are back to work. Nobody got sick. which is ideal. Oh my goodness, we are flooding like crazy again. Is this not open? It is. This is. I know I have this closed, but this is open. Interesting. We have a constant flow problem at the moment. That's all right. Can just bring this back up. There we go. 1.5 seems to have fixed it. I think it's just the amount of water that's overflowing over there. And just really need to be a little bit careful in how I bring that amount down. Because over here is open, and we did not have it open previously. So it should be fine. I really do think it's just the amount of bad water that flowed onto the map this time. Bring that back up. Yeah, okay. We'll play with it at night when they're not trying to work, because I gotta stop having it flood so that they can get started on jobs. And we'll get started on our little chestnut grove over here. There we go, and we'll make sure that we're not cutting it down. And unmark it. You may have seen me do this earlier as well, where I was unmarking these two trees. One is a maple tree and one is a chestnut. Just some beautification, because why not? Yeah, see? This is zeroed, right? Yeah, so it shouldn't be affecting the flow. Zeroed, zeroed. Let's close that and just force more flow through here and see how that goes. There we go. Yeah, how are we doing? 3 more gears and we have all the planks we need already. Wonderful. Perfect. That's not overflowing anymore. That's not overflowing. We're surging our bank ever so slightly. What we will end up doing is replacing everything along this bank eventually with a levee. I do like building up my main water source, and we'll have lots of water wheels along here, and we'll kind of straighten it up with dynamite as well. There is a lot to do here. Like this almost horizontal angle of view. So sorry I missed that. Do you mean this one where you can kind of see everything that's going on? And oh man, look at that sunset. It's so pretty. Someone worked hard to find that color. Oh goodness. And with like the soft crickets in the background, like, oh, that, I gotta do a screen cap of that. Let's just grab this. There we go. Just the pretty sunset, the monument there. That was perfect. My goodness. So lovely. Yes, yes, the horizontal view. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, we'll see if we can't build something that's really pretty as we get along here. And if anyone has any ideas for later on, like what they want to see as far as pretty things go, I am totally open to it. There we go. There, everything's flowing, and I don't mind leaving that like that as long as we've got 180. I'd like that to be higher. So we're going to try and bring it down again. It is nighttime, so nobody's working, in case we flood it. There we go. If you're just joining us, we just started Cycle 8, or I guess we're Day 3 of Cycle 8, and we didn't get a warning. We might actually get more than 6 days. Also, it looks like 1.5 is the best I can do on this right now. Ah, there's the drought in 3 days. So this is our longest temperate cycle yet at 7. Yippee. And I just flooded everything. Oh my goodness. Okay, we need to divert some water here. We'll open this one up, divert it that way, so that we have less issues. Everything is flooded. Oh goodness. Whoopsies. Too distracted by pretty things. There we go. Gone. Flood is over. Okay. So, we definitely need to harden our banks with some levees. But we will get to that. So just looking at it, I think what we'll end up doing is this will end up being our main river section, is right from these 5. We may bring it down into those 4. And we'll probably carve it straight through here. Which means we need to start thinking about metal, which means we need to start thinking about a couple of different things. So, let's take a look. Is it under science? No. I don't know why I said, is it under science when I know it's not. It's under water. Water is what we need for bad water. Centrifuge requires 30 metal to make extract. And after extract, we then need... Why can I never remember where gunpowder is? It's not under metal. We do need a smelter though. And a scavenger flag, so that's 550. Centrifuge is 6, so that's 1150. And it's under landscaping. That's where dynamite is. It's under landscaping. And the factory requires metal, gear, and wood, and is 400. Yeah, see, we could do that, or we could get a big pump. We're gonna go for the big pump. The big pump is the right choice. Requires less workers for way better water efficiency. For storage. Yeah, see, we're day 4, and those 3 are struggling to fill. These 3 are struggling to fill these 3. Because I do not want to leave them working there the entire temperate cycle. So, what we'll do is we'll grab another water. Whoopsie, sorry everybody. We'll grab another water pump right there. And we'll do a pathway like that. Set this for high priority across the board. We will get to building this. And I think we'll do it for the lodge now because we have plenty of water and we have plenty of food. And the extra workers will definitely come in handy. So this is our current building that is understaffed, is the hauling post here. And then we're good on wood right now, so I really do actually want to pause one of those lumberjacks. And I think this cycle is going to be all about securing our water source and deciding how we're going to get to these trees for the sap so that we can make treated planks. And I think the way we'll do that is we'll look at it like this. Suspension bridge 4. We already have the 2 unlocked, which means we can build it from the other side. That's 616 of each. Or, and I think what might make more sense is to... Do we want to use the platforms? Better choice. Better choice than either. And that choice is to throw a set of stairs right here. Then we'll put a platform right here. And a staircase there and there. And this will give us access. And then we'll do our wood. Grab a tapper shack. Like this. And do we have enough for the wood workshop? Very close, but no we don't. And that's okay. We're going to try bringing this up just a little. See if that will increase our power down here out of curiosity. It did a little bit. Good. Okay. So then we will go like this. And we'll add our storage for sap right here for now. And I'm pretty sure sap, yeah, perfect. There it is. Great. So once they, oh yay, yeah, I forgot that that was already built. Great, so then they'll get this pump built. Then they'll take care of this and get that tapper shack built. And we should start getting some treated planks before the next drought here. But we really need this water to increase how much we're getting. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this little button, Prioritize by Haulers. This is going to make sure that they are getting priority from the haulers to fill up the other water tanks so that the workers can just work and they don't have to do any of the moving of the water, which right now is super important. I really want to see us hit 900 plus water before this drought hits. I keep worrying that we're going to hit like a 20-day drought suddenly because we're already up to 14. And like I think we can handle it, but we've also added 3 lodges somewhat recently. So it's going to be a... See, that's the thing this game does really well. Just enough stress to like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And you need to prioritize. But at the same time, it's not like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Unless it's super cute. Like, here, let's see if I can't find another kit doing it again. Let's follow this kit. These 2 kits and see if we can catch either one playing. There we go, patty cake. We're gonna just clip that real quick. Patty cake. And we'll try and grab another one too, because my gosh, is it cute when they play patty cake. Little beaver working. Oh, I love this game. It's so pretty. The beavers are cute. It's such a fun concept. More patty caking beavers. Look at the beaver. It just sits with its tail up between its legs. It's so cute. Little farmer beaver. Ah, love it. I love it so much. Okay, so let's think about again what we were doing, because I got very distracted. Right, the tapper shack's coming along. Once that's built, then we'll get that rooftop terrace taken care of so that they have a little bit more happy things that they can do. And then we can think about doing more research again. Great. And for anyone who doesn't know or is very new to Timberborn or new to my stream, this right here is a fluid dump. So if we ever lose all of our water here for irrigation, we can take it directly from these different storage areas and start putting it back into the channel to ensure irrigation. So we just hit over 900 here. We're going to hit 1,000 soon for water. We're not going to hit 1,000 before the next day here, and we are going to hit our drought in a moment. So we'll pause these, and we're likely going to overflow our banks in a couple places, and that is totally okay. because we're going to hit a drought. So we'll knock that all the way up. That is up. That's up. That is where it should be. And we'll let it play again. There we go. So our reservoirs are filling up a little bit. They may overflow their banks a little, which is totally okay at the moment because we are prepping for this drought that's going to hit us in a moment here. And that's probably will leave us around 90% on this bank, which is great. And now this one is filling. And this I stopped from flowing, so this will stay full. Extra water is never a bad thing going into a drought. And let's see, how long is this drought going to be? And of course you can see all the bad water here was cleared out by the good this time. And the drought has started. Oh, it's only 13 days. My goodness, this is easy. We already did a 14-day with less goodies stored, so 14 is simple. Or sorry, 13 is simple. One last day, better supplied for it. Great. So we will hit the speed up key here in a second. We're going to get some more building done, but before we start over there, I do want to increase our power over here a little. Yes, we don't have our windmill at the moment, and we do have gravity. Oh my goodness, that's new. A clutch engages or disengages power transmission. That's nice. So now you can just cut off entire areas easily for power when you don't need that area to be powered. That's great. Or you want to save like one of these gravity batteries for later. Okay, great. Sorry, distracted by that, everybody. So what we'll do is look where we want to put our windmills. I can't remember, and I feel like you can't. Let's see if they changed it for 1.0, but I doubt it. You cannot build over top of that, which is fine. What that means we'll do is we will put a windmill. Cannot go there, it's too close. Did they change how close they could be? Let's just see. Let's see how close windmills can be now. Oh, I thought they could be one apart. Now they can't. Okay, that's fine. 2 apart's fine. So let's think. Do we want to expand power down here, or should we just start building our power where it'll eventually be permanently? Or not even permanently, but temporarily, like... I think what we'll do is expand our power slightly. I don't want it to be too big yet, but yeah. We could also think about just doing the big windmill instead, although it's a lot of science to do that. Okay, we have 3 beavers that have nothing to do while we're hemming and hawing about what the next right choice is, so we'll get them doing some science here. And then that will give us more options. Not quickly, but quickly enough. And if we need 2 spaces, that means the next one could go here, or the next windmill could go over here somewhere. I think the right thing to do is destroy this, because that's what's screwing me up quite a bit at the moment. And now I feel like we have a lot more choices. So we'll put that there. There should be plenty of logs right there. Great. Go pick all of that up for me, please, beavers. And we'll put a nice little platform right there. And like that. Now we grab our wind turbine again and put a couple of shafts right there, and that'll give us a little bit more power for down here. No gravity battery, so we are reliant on the wind still, but that's okay. Great thing about this game is a lot of it is about finding the things that make it go quicker, not better per se. Because I am definitely not a player who looks for perfect efficiency, but I do look for the efficiencies that make a difference. So like a perfect example is making sure your haulers are set up correctly. However, I am not one of those people who's going to sit there and math out for 20 minutes that this lodge should go here and this food building should go here. Power to those people, but it is not my interest. There we go. Yeah, see, our reservoir is doing so well now. And without having to worry about building a mega dam. A little bit of care, and things just are moving along at a good pace. We're gonna think about metal soon, and our first order of business once we get metal will be, of course, a smithy, but these zip lines, beavers on zip lines, love them. They make the beavers travel more quickly, which is great, especially for these long distances. Ooh, I almost forgot to set a cook up. My goodness, we ran out of grilled potatoes. How could we do that? Ugh. Oh my goodness. Oopsies. Not a big deal. Just brings their well-being down a little bit, but we have plenty. Plenty in stock, plenty waiting to be harvested. Just need to actually cook the things. And for me, some tea. Yum. Do love my tea. Let's take a look. Great. Not seeing any issues. Our reservoirs are still doing well. Let's speed up some time here. And we'll finish up in about 10 minutes or so for today. And at the end of the stream today, we'll do a raid off to probably another Timberborn channel, see if my favorite streamer is streaming it right now. He's a wonderful guy. He's ex-military down in the States. He works with a foundation for vets with PTSD, and it's really cool. Totally suggest it if he is streaming today. If he's not, we'll raid another channel instead. But let's take a look. Just while we wait on this drought. But let's take a look. Just while we wait on this drought. Sorry about the double sound there. Yeah, so he's not streaming today. Not a problem. Let's take a look, see if any of my other favorites for Timberborn are streaming. Any of those other really nice, smaller ones. I don't see anyone in particular, but we'll pick one when it's time here in a couple minutes. It'll be fun. Okay, so our forest is getting nice and healthy here. Our maple tree, for just prettiness, you can see it here, gets little drops on it to show that it's ready to be harvested. And the little kit's running around playing patty cake. Oh my gosh. I wonder if that's new for 1.0. Either way, I love it. And hadn't noticed it before. So cute. So very cute. Okay. Speed up some more time. And we're doing great. There we go. Our cook worked real quick today. And our windmills are built. Our tapper shack is going and is full already. So that's wonderful. We'll resume on one of these inventor huts. And we should have enough materials to get our woodwork shop tomorrow after they finish doing some more research. Oh good, I do remember the hotkeys for changing how quick the speed is. And this is day 3 of the drought. Doing fine on our reservoir. And just in a moment, we'll hit perfect. We just hit our 800 there. So, wood workshop. And this is why I wasn't sure where we should be doing our power. So we'll go to our wood workshop here, unlock it, and we'll flip it. And I think it's going to go here for now. And then we'll put a power, a water wheel, here and here. Yes, it's 0 for the time being, but that's totally fine. It's because it's a drought. And those are each 50 logs, so that's going to cost a lot. And that'll empty out our wood, so I don't want to do that. We're going to do it that way. And then we'll test it. I don't think it'll be high enough. And that is great. And that will give us some power to it. But to get that built, we'll need a staircase right there. And we'll build a path like that. And now it's time to just cut down the last of these trees that have managed to hang on. So we'll resume that lumberjack flag. And it looks like we are only 1 beaver short from our haulers, so that's great. I'll be surprised if we can get those built before the end of the stream today, but either way, that's totally fine. Lots of buildings lacking power because, of course, we are reliant 100% on wind. And once we're over here, we'll start thinking about, oh, we'll probably put a gravity battery here, for example. Maybe build up a level or 2 over here and put one here. We'll see. We'll see what we decide. But for now, that is sufficient. There we go. Beavers just living their best lives. Let's take a look at the decorations. Do we want to try putting some roofs? We could put some decoration right here. The weather vane doesn't need a... Oh, requires 250 science, my goodness. So we're going to wait on anything because I need the science for it. But we'll probably put a couple decorations right here. But those can wait. All right. Great, they almost got all the materials they need for the woodwork shop. We're 10 gears short. Oh my gosh, we have another beaver who has nothing to do now. So let's increase our district center number of workers. And that'll get things built a little faster. And later on, once we get the colony a bit bigger, we'll get a builder's hut where we can get additional builders instead of just having those 4. And it looks like that lumberjack flag has finished gathering all the close ones, so we're going to pause it. And over here is looking great, but we'll let it grow for a little longer yet. Oh wow, we have 3 beavers not doing anything. Sometimes that happens when a whole bunch of beavers were born at the same time or died at the same time. And what it looks like we can do then is we will resume this other inventor's hut. We will resume one of these lumberjacks. We will reconnect our building. And we will resume this forester, and that reminds me we should resume our other gatherer right here for this dandelion patch. Great. That means we have 4 haulers, everything's going well. We're already basically halfway through this drought, and we still have over 600 water. Very happy to see that. This has been a great session today. Great stream with how far along we've got this colony. Very happy with its growth. We added basically 10, we added 12. We added 12 beavers today to the colony. So that's a pretty decent growth considering how small it is to start, but we'll get up to a couple hundred soon. And we'll get some robots as well. I'm gonna really try on this run to start using the district system a bit better and really specialize them. So like we'll have a farming district, we'll have like a processing food district, processing like the dynamite district will be over here likely, and then like a forester's district, all that kind of thing, just so that we can try and get as big as we can, because when you separate them with different district centers, the simulation works better and has an easier time. Oh, we have our second injury. You can just see this beaver's wandering around with an injury. This one's already in the medical bed. So what we'll do is go to our well-being, grab a medical bed, and put it right there. And then we'll put a high priority on it. Injuries happen from a couple of different things for the beavers in this game. The lumberjack flag, you can see, for example, medium chance of chipped teeth. And they just need a grindstone to fix their teeth on, which I think is over here. Yes, perfect. Making sure we actually have it. And then you can see like here, medium chance of injury on the woodwork shop where they strengthen planks. And eventually we'll see a couple where this medium chance is actually a high chance. And those are the ones where we really try to get the robots working on there as quickly as possible so that we have less injured beavers. And then as we have more and more robots, we have less beavers having to work, which means they can have a higher well-being. Kind of like a beaver utopia. Love it so much. So cute. Okay. With just a couple moments left in the stream here for me today, I will find us where we're going to go and raid today. Just another small streamer like myself, only a couple viewers, that way they can feel the impact. And it's just a nice way to like say hi, be part of the community. So let's take a look. So this person is saying, let's explore Timberborn. That sounds like a fun title. Let's go ahead and raid this person. Okay. Ooh, Timberborn one. No, that one's not quite right. Let's search for somebody specific. Perfect. Let's go raid this one. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you joining me today for this stream. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate you coming by, even when we're just, you know, having a lot of lurkers around. It's still great. So we'll do a raid here. Have a great day, everybody.